Sounds good.
Alrighty. Hey, are we out here? Are we out here? Hey, are we out here? Are we out here? I can hear me. That's a good thing. Let's kick off the music too, even though not everybody's here. That's okay. So, running just a couple seconds late, but I think we're all right. And here we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Agora Quest. As we return to Perrinland and our heroes of Kreistrich, I am Sean, your host. We are glad to be back after a rather lengthy hiatus. For those that joined us Monday, you know that we have been out for about a month, I guess now. 3 weeks to the day almost since the last episode here. I know. So, yeah, 21 days. And I want to welcome everybody back. For those of you that are starting to join us out on Twitch, at least I hope there's folks out there getting ready to join us on Twitch. We're glad to be back. If you are new here, welcome. As always, if you're an old hat, welcome back. Just as a quick heads up on who we are, obviously Dungeons & Dragons streaming group. Every other Friday, this is our get together for our 5th edition game. If you're more of an old school grognard, you can catch us every Monday night. Every Monday night is when we do our 1st edition game. So this last week, it actually went pretty well. Had a good stream. Now, hopefully tonight we can follow up with another good stream. But as you know, as many who follow us to all of our games, you know, we can never have 2 good streams in a row. Something's going to crash. Something's going to burn this place to the ground. But I think, in fact, that's why most people come watch us, to see what kind of a shit show we are going to put on. But I want to welcome everybody anyway. If you have yet to click that follow button, please do so. Let your friends, family, coworkers know about us if they got nothing better to do on a Friday night. Where would you rather be, here or the opening night for the Dungeons and Dragons movie? Right, you could have seen that last night on the previews, and actually some previews were like a week ago. I think there were some theaters had it, or just like a couple here or there, whatever. But I am glad that you would like to spend your time with us here. As I said, if you haven't clicked that follow button, please do so. If you'd like to help support the stream, definitely encourage you to do so. For every 200 bits that you cheer, you can grant advantage to your favorite player or humble dungeon master, as the case may be. I just want to remind everybody that right now Ragnar is the only one that has advantage that has been granted by our audience. I do believe Desmond and Paviskro, I think those are the two that I last checked. Don't forget, you guys do have inspiration that was earned in-game, not as a donation. So if you guys don't recall that, you do have inspiration on your character sheets if necessary. Yeah, and then so of course also, as you well know, as you watch our stream and you interact, the more you do, the faster you earn tokens. You can trade those free tokens in for Nat 1s and Nat 20s for our party. They are good for this stream only. So I encourage you to drop your coinage as fast as you can before the party gets into it. I will say that based on what the party had been doing and where they're going now, not necessarily sure there's going to be a butt ton of combat, but there could be. It depends on how far along we get tonight. Because there is a lot of investigation and a lot of spinning up of new threads that we just kind of started last session. So we'll be getting into that because one of the key players was gone from last session, and so he got no clue what was going on unless he went out and watched the stream that I uploaded to kind of see how the session went. But if he didn't, we're going to cover all of that tonight. Last but not least, of course, we are a member of the Greyhawk Creatives group here on Twitch. You can find our channel over there, or our page actually, over at twitch.tv/team/Greyhawk Creatives. And if you can't remember all of that, that's fine. Just go to our Twitch About page. All that links are there. Whether you want to donate via the tip jar, whether you want to check out our socials, whether you want to check out the Greyhawk Creatives page, because I do encourage you to go check that out, because there's a lot of great Greyhawk content that's out here on Twitch. A lot of great folks out there. So, like I said, encourage you to go check them out. And with that, players, welcome back. Hopefully everybody had a good hiatus. Hopefully you're itching at least for a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, because that's what we do here, is Dungeons and Dragons. Not sure if you knew that. It's not Pathfinder. It is D&D 5th edition.
I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong group. I'm sorry.
Yep. Oh, you're one D&D now.
No.
I thought we were playing 3.5.
You know what? God. I can roll us back. I can roll us back to basic if you guys want. But
hey, man, I thought it was 2 3/4, but I'm fine with 5e. That's like twice as good almost.
Almost.
Listen, if we're gonna roll the stack the first edition, I'm gonna have to make at least several characters, because that'll get us through one session.
Yeah. I will say my first edition group has actually done really well. The dice have not been kind to me in that group. I think once I came close to taking them out, but they managed to somehow. And it's usually because people out in the audience are throwing Nat 20s and Nat 1s like they're candy at the party. When
they need it in that game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I want to welcome everybody back. I'm glad you're here. Let's talk a little bit about where we are and what has been going on. For those that have been following us, you know that our players have been, from the beginning, sort of on this big, long, overarching, what the hell's going on in Perrinland, sort of a quest, if you will, if you can call it a quest. Originally, they found this ancient artifact that they destroyed, and after destroying the artifact, they came to realize that while that artifact was heinous in its very nature, that whoever controlled it and wielded its power could subjugate people at will, which is how Perrinland in the past was subjugated by the ancient sorcerers, commonly called the Ur-Flan. They used it as a weapon to, again, subjugate the people of Perrinland, but fortunately the forefathers and ancient parenters threw off the evildoers, and they broke up the artifact because they couldn't destroy it. So they broke it up into multiple pieces, but eventually it started coming back together. And so the party, rather than risk anybody getting their hands on it that obviously was of ill intent, they destroyed the artifact. But apparently that artifact has been holding back a lot of old, ancient, ne'er-do-well evildoers. However, the Urflan sort of trapped them. And so they've been slowly but surely finding out that not everything, but some of the things they've been getting involved with here recently all kind of ties back to that same thread of, yeah, they did a good thing by destroying the artifact, but oh crap, now we got to deal with the aftermath. And so everything from earthquakes and volcano explosions at the beginning to this very recent event where they were looking for a priest of the Temple of Barai, this guy by the name of Arthur Stevens. And so they tracked Arthur Stevens to Traft, where he stood up a clergy or a church dedicated to the goddess Barai. And Barai is, of course, dedicated to community and farming and all such things, nature. And so this Arthur Stevens took his congregation or his clerics or his acolytes and tried to cleanse the evil from a nearby mansion because they wanted to tear the whole area down and used it for farmland. Well, apparently this ancient evil was residing within this great big ancient obsidian mask, and he managed to subjugate all of the followers and basically possessed Arthur Stevens. And in doing so, the party learned that this demon served the forces of an ancient archmage by the name of Igwilv. And Igwilv was supposedly the daughter of a wicked, evil archmage and some demonic forces and whatnot. And several hundred years ago, she rose to power and was starting to sort of rule at least parts of Perrinland. But she too managed to be thrown off and destroyed, or so everybody thought, because from the looks of things, either her followers or perhaps Igwilv herself could be trying to stage a comeback. And this demon that they met up with was actually from that time, and apparently had been trapped. But of course, with the destruction of the Sturgeon Blood Totem, that artifact previously described, he had been released. And so how our party got involved was that apparently some of these followers or demonic creatures possessed Nilo's sister, who was a guard in the presidential palace. And during that possession, there was an attempted assassination of the president of Perrinland. And so when it was discovered that Nilo's sister was involved, of course, being such a clan-centered region, the whole family was considered to be involved, and hence they were stripped of all their land and title and any claim to the clan that they belong. That was all taken away. And so Nilo has been, these past couple of months, trekking about the land with the party, with her support, trying to figure out what happened to her sister and yada yada. And so apparently they've gotten at least some of the answers. They discovered, as I said, that this demon apparently had been a follower, a servant of Igwilv in the past, or perhaps summoned by Igwilv, maybe, not really sure on the details. But they managed to overthrow the demon and drove it back into its mask, albeit they lost all of the followers as well as Arthur Stevens in the battle. Even though they drove the demon from him, he died in the contest. And so now our party has returned to the city of Traft. And as they arrived in the city of Traft, they went back to their to the inn with which they stayed. And I can never remember the name of it, but that's okay because we don't really care about continuity in this game. Somewhere in here, let me see. Do I have it here somewhere? Probably not. Give me just a second. I meant to have this opened up before so I can have all my notes handy. But let me go to Greyhawk. Darn it, I'm not even going to try to worry about it right now. So anyway, the party returned to their to the inn with which they had been staying, and they weren't really there that long when bursting through the front doors and sort of looking around, the party saw that a pair of young dwarves had come charging through. And they were calling out for Ragnar, and they're Ragnar, Ragnar. And as Ragnar looked up, he noticed that his two cousins, Angie, Stormhelm, as well as Actrum, Stormhelm, come charging through, claiming that their mother, Glory, along with his brother, Ryman, had disappeared while trying to forge a new caravan route south out of Perrinland. And so that was actually where we left off. And so as you sit there at the table seeing these two young dwarves dressed in Western Perrinland, they have sort of a look and feel of maybe smithies or some that work in that type of now. We've been looking for you. They've been missing. You got to come help us. And that, my friends, is where we are going to pick up tonight's game of Agora Quest, Heroes of Kreistrich. Any questions or anything about what may have transpired previously or what is going on now before we really kick off into this? Anybody?
No, I think I'm good.
Ragnar?
I'm gonna go with the same level of confusion as this situation provides.
Yes, as I said, as you see that your two young cousins have come through the front door as you guys are just sitting down to eat, and they scream out your name, Ragnar, cousin! We have been looking for you for a month now. Where have you been? Mother's missing. Ryman's missing. And they come running over to your table, and they're both sort of look like they're out of breath, like, you know, as a young dwarf maybe is very agitated and excited, obviously, to see you, but it looks like they have been, they're kind of haggard looking in the sense that it looks like they ran from Exag all the way to here, right? So it's like they ran from your home city all the way to here nonstop, it seems. You're not really sure, but apparently they're looking for you, and they managed to find you, fortunately.
I'm probably in mid-motion eating something when they barged in.
Probably.
I'll set down this enormous pork chop, probably.
Okay.
Look at these two. NG.
Hi, brother.
What are
Hi,
you
cousin.
doing here?
Itulians, mother's missing, and Ryman went with her. They was setting up new trails to go to the south, trying. Well, you know, mother. She's always not wanting to pay the taxes, and so I guess she said it was too damned expensive taking everything to Swords and Brewing to take it to the south. So she said that she could find a quicker and easier route, and so they went south. She was supposed to go to Crestable and let us know when she got there, but we never got no word. So Ryman went after her, and now he's missing too. And so Father said we've got to come find you, because they knew that if anybody could find them, that you and your friends would be able to. Because they said that you was making a name for yourselves over here. They've heard from you all the way over there, by the way. How are you? We've missed you. And she looks around at the rest of you and says, oh, I'm Angie Stormhelm. Oh, and this here's my this here's my brother Arkdom.
Charmed.
So is you coming with us now, or Ragnar? You gonna go find mother, or what you going to do? I'm not very sure. I think it's our last hope. It's been a month already.
Agnar like rubs the end of his nose. It's been about a month, you're saying.
We've been on the trail. We've had to take I had to take a boat. I don't swim, Ragnar, so that tells you how serious this is. Yes, the fastest way here is to take the boat from Schwarzenbrunn.
Oh, no.
So you know means I don't swim, Ragnar, and I brought my brother just because if I need to run faster, then at least he could stay behind to protect my tail. But Father told us come find yins, and so here we is. We found yins, and so now can we go so we can go find Mother?
Give me 1 second.
Now, just be aware, you guys have literally just sat down from all the events. At the end of the day, it took you all day after fighting all morning. You guys traipsed all the way here, made it back by the end of the day. It is dark. It is nighttime.
Say again where she went missing.
I don't know you, but since you're a friend of Ragnar's, I suppose you can tell yous. My mother, she owns a business that she develops caravans, and she sets up supply chains, and so she normally would send the caravans to Schwarzenbrunn, and then they would get on the ferries and the cargo boats and whatnot, and they would use the rivers to head south into Ket and into Heifel. What Mother says that Schwarzenbrunn has just gotten too damned expensive with their tariffs, and so she went south to Kreistrich, and Kreistrich lies in the mountains. And by the way, even though he's not here, Jacob, Nilo knows Kreistrich because that's the region that Nilo grew up in. Is in the Kreistrich. That's where her clan is sort of centralized in the Kreistrich region. So she was going to go to Kreistrich and let us know when she got there. And from Kreistrich she was going to. She told me, but I'm not for sure what the name. Rosenkreuzstadt, I think it's near Kreistrich, and she says from there she could actually take some waterways, taking the same route essentially as from Schwarzenbrunn, only loads cheaper without the tariffs. And so she was going to Kreistrich. She was supposed to send word that she made the Kreistrich. We never got the word. And then so Ryman, who is Ragnar's brother, he went.
Why has Ryman any business doing this? He's a smith.
But he was working to help Mother with the business, and so he's trying to learn business sense, I suppose. But he took upon himself to say he was going to go find her, because Father being getting a bit old and all, he decided to help him out, and so he left, and now he's missing too. So,
know if they took anyone with them, like an escort?
Oh, I think they was with the caravan. Caravan going to Kreistrich, but I don't know. But no, they did not go as alone. No, they rode the caravan. As I said, she was going to try to find a way to go from this Rosenkreuzstadt to take, because there's waterways through the mountains there. She thinks that maybe the boats would be just squeezed through the channels enough to make it through the mountains, but I don't know.
Desmond, you come from the mountains. Are you familiar with this area at all?
I'm familiar with most of the mountains in Pearland, but
so I'm trying to. I don't remember on your background if you actually.
It's from the southern mountains. That's why I bring.
I'm from the southeast.
All right, so this is the southwest. So while the mountain ranges are similar, the actual locale is a little bit different, because and we'll do this. Let me switch this over. So you guys are in Traft, right? So
Yeah.
this, so Crestable, well, here is Schwarzenbruen, obviously, right here. Crestable is down this way, right?
Okay.
Oh, that's a trip. Okay.
Yep. And so Enstadt, which is, or Exag, I mean, Exag is up here. Okay, so this is where Ragnar's family is from. And so you can see the roads and trails heading south. And to get through the mountains, of course, down here through Klatsburg and then through these channels, this is the primary route that barge and river traffic, if you will, goes, right? When it wants to go to Highfolk. When it wants to go to Ket, it comes down here through this region, which there are waterways as well as overland trails, and that goes down into the country of Ket. So those are the two kind of primary ways. And of course, to get down through, normally coming from Exag, they come down here to Schwarzenbruen, then they put it on the waterways, and then they go straight down through the waterways. And these waterways, the Velverdiva River, this goes all the way south, and you know it very well, at least that sort of kind of region. Oh my God, Paviskro, because the Velverdiva goes all the way south, all the way toward Kieland, which is kind of the route you came up. So you're kind of familiar with the route, maybe not the waterway itself or through the mountains itself, but you're familiar enough to know that is a common sort of trading route, north and south, up and down from out of Parentland back into Parentland. So apparently she was going to come down the western Yaddle Mountains here, all the way down to Crestable. From Crestable, she was going to come here to this Rosenkranzstadt and try to find some kind of a route via waterway or something that would link up with the main waterway and then continue south, right? So having to avoid any of the tariffs and all the other taxes that the large city of Schwarzenbruen likes to inflict on people. So that's what she was searching for.
So
and somewhere between there and there.
Angie said. So from what Angie said so far, when did they stop receiving letters?
They never got a word. Your aunt was supposed to go from Exag to Crestable, and she was supposed to send word from Crestable when she got there that she arrived, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, no word ever came.
Oh,
so to be
that's
clear,
a huge area then.
So to be clear, she left here.
Yep.
And was heading here, and somewhere in between here and there, she got lost.
Went missing. Yes.
Yeah.
Her route was supposed to take her to Schwarzenbrunn first, and then to Crestable.
No, she was just going down. Yeah. Yep. She's just going. So she just probably followed these little white trails, like here to Kirchen, down to Fuberg, down to Hofstadt, to Ulmt, and then down to Crestable without ever going to Schwarzenbrunn. Okay. And although, sorry,
how long of a journey is that?
So that's actually a good question. Let's do this. Let's go here and measure. We're going to go from
No, we're talking walking.
So you're talking, it is a 220-mile straight shot. So let's say 350 miles if they're going along all the trails and twists and turns and ups and downs and stuff like that.
That's a lot of land to cover.
350 miles, let's say, divided by 20 miles a day, right? So 350 divided by 20, barring any incident.
Yeah, you're looking at like 15 days-ish. I'm just guessing, estimating.
Minimum 2 weeks, probably.
So I just want to also add that you guys did manage to get a big piece of the puzzle to Nilo's situation solved, in that you guys have paperwork discussing the demonic possession and whatnot. If you guys remember, you got all that documentation from the temple.
Yeah.
And you got indication that Nilo's sister was in fact possessed by one of these demonic beings. And so Nilo still has yet to go and prove his family's innocence. And he was actually going next to Schwarzenbrunnen. That's the next stop that it was going to have to be in order to go to the palace, talk to the palace guard or the captain of the guard or whatever to sort of lay out their case. And then they could take it under advisement and stuff. So you guys, if Nyla were here, I would say that Nyla would be pressing, hey, we have to go that way anyway. Why don't we go to Schwarzenbrunnen and then we can go to maybe the Crestable, see if she ever arrived. And if not, start working our way back up. Or we could go from... I
wasn't even going to say go as far as Crestable right away, just like first.
Yeah.
If she didn't arrive in she's definitely not in the Crestable.
True story.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Knowing that we're going to Schwarzenbrunnen anyway, we could probably... I'm guessing the distance between Schwarzenbrunnen and Ulm looks like, what, 2 days? Could you...
Yep.
Could you, like, do that ruler thing again?
Yep.
Okay, so 3 days.
Yeah, roughly 3 days of ride.
Yeah, if you push it a little bit, yeah. So... we go to Schwarzenbrunnen, get Nilo set on their business.
We can check out and see if any of the inns have records of her arrival.
Yep.
Because...
if anyone's seen her, and that'll narrow off more than half of if she has been here, then that would mean that we have cover more than half that area.
Either covers that, like, okay, she's been through here, so we only have to look down, or she never got here and we have to look up. It definitely cuts down on search time.
Yeah, no, that's and then we can work our way either direction depending on where they were last seen. All right, so do the dwarves that are searching for them or Ragnar, do either of you have a likeness of them, a portrait, a painting, a locket?
I looked
anything?
At Angie in that it's their mother, so you would have the artwork most likely.
Yeah, a sketch.
Oh, we have a beautiful portrait of mother and father hanging on the wall above the fireplace at the house.
In exact?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's a bit of a distance.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Can you? All right. Here's what we'll do then. I will step a little bit with all of you. We'll write down the specifics of the path just so we have it written down, and we will work on a likeness, a sort of sketch that I can show people. Yeah, of their mother, so that we can go around and just say, "Have you seen this dwarf?"
Okay.
Yeah. And this will be I'm going to use my magical tinkering for this. Okay. So I'm not just going to like sketch this out with charcoal. I can create a static visual effect of and above the quality of IRL photographs. Like I am.
You want to add actual resolution to the image?
Yeah, no, I am creating like as detailed a recounting as I can, down to like where their moles are on their face.
Okay.
So that we have as close to a perfect image of her as possible.
Okay.
And then I guess in the morning we'll have to set up for Schwarzenbrunnen. Maybe there's a wizard that could teleport us there that we made friends with. Or we catch a boat.
Or you guys still have, you catch a boat and you guys still have your horses, so you can bring your horses with you and whatnot and stuff. So
yeah, I mean,
we carry the horse on the boat. That would help, yeah.
Yeah, you can bring horses on.
Yeah, you can bring horses on boats.
It costs a little extra coin, but
well, there's probably plenty of ships heading that way even today.
Yeah. So if you look, you can see that
the major trade hub.
Yeah, these blue dotted lines are the ship routes basically that go. So.
All right, we'll have to head out in the morning.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
All right. What's the matter, man? Aren't you happy to see your cousins?
Listen, family always brings baggage, as you can see. I feel
But
like
we-
Nilo's already known that.
But we missed you, cousin.
You know what the funny part, Sean? I'm
What?
the younger cousin.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
They're
I'm
in-
like 80-something years old. They're older than
You're the
me.
successful cousin.
Yeah, but they sound so much younger and spry.
You're the,
Well,
been
you're
through
the
a lot.
according,
cousin- you're
I
the
was
cousin
one
with
of,
wisdom.
I just want to say that according to Ragnar's backstory that he gave me with his extended family, which, by the way, Paviskro, you need to start working on.
Oh, you want extended family? Sure, I can
Not
do
so
that.
much extended family, but at least something that we can
Just
tap
like-
into your backstory
grandparents.
as this goes
How many
along.
degrees of attachment do you want?
He only
Probably
did a
from
couple.
grandparents to that
Okay.
level
Yeah,
of
he did to
family.
his grandparents, but I'm also interested in the sects and the groups that you belong to in route. So,
Absolutely can do.
and why you, more detail on why you came up here. So,
Yep. I am
Anyway.
absolutely right to look up for you.
anyway, as you, I just wanted to say the whole reason that they're acting like that is because according to Ragnar's backstory with his extended family and all that, these two individuals are in their 60s. So
They are.
right
I
here,
have
right
I
here,
haven't read-
right
No,
here, it
they're-
says
they're-
Angrada, Angie Storm. Oh, she's 93. Sorry, I was thinking 60. 93. My fault.
No, Ray.
Okay, so you're right.
That letter.
You're right.
He's my younger brother.
You're right. Well, Ryan, yes, that's what I was looking at is Ryman. Ryman is your younger brother who's in his 60s. So,
Yeah, it's fair. The only reason they're older than me is because technically my uncle is older than my dad.
right.
So it just made logical sense to make
Yeah,
them older.
There you
But
go.
to be
So,
fair,
there,
I'm also a military vet, so I'm probably just jaded.
yeah,
to the
that
point
has to
where
do
it's
it
more
too.
shown.
All
They
right.
might be older, but you're older.
Yes.
I got aged like milk.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh.
I can say, as ex-military, I can say that is a fact. Because when I went home after my first, I went to boot camp, I went to school, and I went home on leave, and I was like, why was I ever like this? As I'm hanging out with my friends. Like, was I like this? I was like, man, changes you quickly. So, that being said, you guys, it is, a little after or getting close to late meal or early or late evening, whatever, 9:30 or so. Anything that you guys want to do before you just go rest for the evening?
I
I'll
would
talk
like
to
to
my cousins and try to catch up on because they are very far from where they're supposed to be, which is exact.
Yes, and like I said, they've been looking for you for about a month. So,
I'm gonna do the dwarven thing. I'm gonna buy them a drink.
all right, there we go.
I'm going to go to either hoping that someone's at Wizards College late,
Okay.
or that I could find a temple of the old faith like Biori or what's his name?
Obad High.
Obadhai, that's my primary patron.
Yep.
And I want to try to get some information about the sword that I'm carrying around.
Okay.
Gonna buy a new dog, by the way, Desmond.
Yes, and I'm also going to be looking for a new dog.
A little late for that.
Yeah.
You've got you still have your 3 henchmen you have to
Yes.
worry about paying coming up.
Yep.
All right. So we will start with Paviskro. Anything that Paviskro needs to do tonight aside from rest, relaxation, and study?
Just that portrait thing I told you about.
The what?
The portrait. The,
Okay. Okay.
The magically created likeness of the person that I can carry around.
Okay. So as you're sort of talking to these two dwarves again, Actrum and Angie, as she calls herself, you manage to concoct an image that really is supremely detailed in every way, that looks exactly like their mother, whose name is Glory Stormhelm. That's her common name, by the way.
These are all nicknames. I did that for
Yeah,
the people you
Yeah.
looking at them.
Glory
Names are very hard.
Glory Hubum.
Glory
Yeah.
or Mazaboon.
Yep, Mazdabrun. Yep. So, but anyway, you manage to do as you need, and you, in fact, Ragnar, as you look at this portrait that Praviskro has fashioned from the descriptions that you've been able to provide and your two cousins have been able to provide, it is amazing to you. It's almost like she's sitting right there, like little more aged than the last time you remember seeing her, if his depiction is anywhere close, but it is an incredibly detailed likeness that you managed to.
I feel like I would have a problem figuring this out, Sean.
What do you mean?
He's blind.
Oh, this is true. This is true. I never think about it that way, but as the description that you've given her, your cousins are so excited that they can't believe how detailed and it looks. And as they're describing it, you form this vision in your head. Don't judge me. As you form this vision in your head of what the image looks like, and it's exactly as you remember her sort of standing there saying goodbye as you went off to do combat for clan and country. But yeah, so you do manage to get that figured out. Now Ragnar, as you are discussing with your cousins, you realize that your aunt has been pretty busy. But some other things sort of come along with troubling news as well, because while not much has been said, there have been small contingents of mercenary companies being dispatched from Exag north to deal with unsettled and restlessness and things going on in that direction. Your cousins don't really know what that's all about, but it's pretty frequent now that official mercenary soldiers from Paranland that are all part of the guard that you and Nilo and even Ragnar, even Praviskro used to belong to, as you guys sort of discuss what could be going on with everything that's been going on with you guys. Your missing aunt doesn't really seem to be much, but now with all of this problems and troubles occurring everywhere, with all these problems and troubles that have been going on everywhere, is somehow your aunt got swept up in it, maybe. The rise of banditry, people,
The
caravans.
rising of the dark ones return.
Yeah. So, is it all tied together? Maybe, maybe not. Like I said,
Surprise me. I have a theory already, and I'm pretty sure it's accurate.
So, but as you're catching up, you find out that one of the reasons your aunt was trying to avoid these high tariffs is because of the high cost of security that she's had to attach to a lot of these caravans moving up and down the trade routes now because of the rise of banditry. Humanoids coming out of the hills, as well as regular old human thieves and crooks and bandits and stuff waylaying caravans, costing an arm and a leg to replace and repair. So she's trying to find any way she can to go better routes without having to pay a lot of these high taxes. And so that's kind of what's been going on since you have been gone. And it really only started, they say, probably 3 or 4 months ago. Things were going pretty good, but past 3 or 4 months, things just seem to be getting worse and worse and worse in that area. And so
I'm not going to tell them anything about what's going on, but Ragnar understands the implication of this situation.
Yep, and Praviskro, you guys as well all manage to, or you kind of understand what's going on here as well. So, and as I leave you to that, Desmond, there is no temple or shrine or anything within the city, but you know that there is outside the city, in the northern, outside the north walls and stuff. You know that there is small shrines and whatnot with a couple of druids that sort of maintain a grove up there dedicated to Obad High. Because the old church here, the old kirk, is all Flanish in nature. And while Obad High and the other natural earth-type deities sort of lay outside the normal Flan conclave of deities like Pelor and Barai and some of these other deities that we've been discussing over the recent past, you do know that there is a small grove dedicated to Obad High that you could go to. It would probably take you about an hour to get there. If you were to leave now, you could get there. It'd be nighttime. The moon would be up and whatnot. But you could definitely get there if you so desired.
Then I'll head up there.
Okay. Let's see what we are in. Flock time 13th. Just want to see what the day. Yeah, so it is a little bit chilly outside as you get outside the gates. The wind is no longer blocked from the high walls of the city itself. But you find yourselves on a very quiet, partly cloudy, moonlit sky, moving north. The wind blowing, 10 knots or so, give or take, kind of whipping up your cape and your cloak as you pull it tightly around you, moving your way ever northward, until eventually you arrive in this grove. You could see a small set of rings, as is common with most druidic sects, that they have a small ring of stones there that they use sort of astrologically and whatnot. There are a small hut where the priest that's currently tending the grove and whatnot is, and you can see that the light inside is still on, blazing brightly, and there's a small wisp of smoke rising from the stone chimney of the thatched roof, telling you that whoever is inside is probably awake.
I will, as politely as I can, knock.
As you knock on the door, you hear a sound of like a chair scraping across wood. A face whips into the window, pushing his nose against it. And you see a rather haggard-looking sort of guy, very bushy eyebrows. His hair is kind of wild. Looks almost like somebody took straw and just stuffed it on a head and painted it brown. As he sort of looks out, and you can see his eyes are actually very clear and blue. As he sort of tries to focus, you could see the breath coming from his lips, sort of frosting the window, and then it sort of fades away. As if you've ever blown on a cool window, it sort of fogs up and then it fades away. And then he says in a loud voice, "Kind of late for travelers, don't you think? Maybe some folk are trying to get a little bit of rest around here. What brings you here and why? State your business quickly."
I have a weapon that seems dangerous, but I want to know if it's too dangerous to use before I take it out into the world and potentially have it lost and dangerous.
"And why would you bring it to me? There's a city just to the south of here that has plenty of magi that I am quite sure can tell you exactly everything you need to know about whatever it is you're carrying."
Because they're magi and because they don't follow or understand the old faith?
You're a follower of the old faith, is you?
Yes.
As he looks at you and he asks you to tell for him some sort of a not well known passage of the teachings of Obad High. Give me a religion check with advantage, please.
I hold down shift to make it advantage?
I believe so. One of them. Shift or control, whichever.
There we go.
All right. As you get yourself an 11, as he looks, and he's like, close enough, come in. And he grabs the door, and he sort of pushes it open, allowing you entry. Inside, you see this hut that's built around a dirt floor. There is no wood on the floor. There are posts and whatnot at various seemingly random locations holding up the roof. You can see there's a stone. The only thing that's not sort of natural and whatnot is the stone chimney that the house itself is built around, or the stone fireplace with the chimney running up. There's a small fire blazing in it, and there's a kettle sort of hanging over. Looks to be hot water that he is heating up. He's kind of going over and tosses some veggies and whatnot. Sits down in a rather large rocking chair, offering you a wicker-looking chair, sort of again woven and fashioned naturally from what looks to be fallen trees and stuff. Looks like somebody just took a bunch of fallen logs and trees, cut them up, and stuck them all together with wood glue, and then lashed it together with some yarn to kind of hold this chair together. But sitting down, it's actually rather comfortable. As he grabs a pipe, little smoke ring sort of comes out, looks at you and says, "So then, this device that you're not wanting any of the others to see, show it to me. Tell me what it is."
I'll unwrap the sword for him and hold it out to him.
As he looks, he goes, "Oh, I have not seen obsidian blade in ever in these parts. Where did you come across this, boy?"
Took it from a priest possessed by a demon.
That would explain it. And where, pray tell, was this priest taken by a demon?
I will give him directions and even name the man. I can't remember the guy's name.
Arthur Stevens. Arthur Stevens.
Stevens.
As he's sort of thinking, the name doesn't ring a bell. The location, though, there used to be elves in those regions, but that was centuries ago. You say that he, what's so special about this that makes you think it's evil or wicked?
He was the high priest possessed by the demon, and he was the one wielding this to effect against us.
And what sort of effect?
Seemed to sap the life from us when struck with it.
Huh. So, druids do not have identify, I am quite sure. If they do, then I apologize.
Druids, no.
Yep. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Sorry, I was just looking for. I have to go back, and I don't have the details on the sword here handy. And I'm getting ready to pull it up right now. Do. Hit it. Okay. Let's see what is. Yep. And so he sort of looks at the blade. He's going to give an educated kind of like a religion or arcana check. As he looks, he says, "Oh, this blade looks to be one of the darkers that the elves that they manufactured these hundreds of years ago to suck the lives from their very enemies, took their souls, they did. If I was you, I would have this thing destroyed. It goes against everything natural that I could think of. You need to bring it to those that know how to destroy such things. Rid it from this world forever. For eventually they say that these very weapons will take the souls of those what wield them. So I would take very good care, if I were you, to even show this blade or hold it without it being wrapped and protected of sorts."
A nod in my head. Like that's kind of what I suspected. If they're so dangerous, can't they be effectively turned against greater enemies?
Aye, that could be true, but what happens when the blade sucks the soul from you? Now you aren't helping anybody, and now your blade is just laying there for someone else to pick up. All of these...
trick, I guess, is knowing when my time is over and making sure I die with the blade.
So, not sure how you would kill a magical weapon, but if you think so, but I'm I am
know of
just
a
here
certain
to advise you.
I know of a certain dragon in the mountain that wouldn't mind eating me and my companions.
Aye, but I don't think that would destroy the magic weapon, though, would it?
If not, the dragons will be safe in the dragon's hoard. Well, no one else will get it either.
Perhaps. I'm just saying, if the dragon eats you, would he not then have the weapon for himself?
What dragon wields a sword? It'll
Oh,
decorate
maybe
its
not.
sword, nothing more.
That's true. Well, you asked for me for my opinion. I give you my opinion.
Thank you very much,
Brother.
whatever the proper name for a druid is.
I call him brother. Usually I just call him brother.
Thank you, brother. Can I give a donation or something to help with your care here?
Oh, donations are always welcome.
I will give him 24 gold pieces.
Oh, as he looks, he says, "Boy, you just bought me another 3 rows of saplings that I could plant right there where we needed them."
And I'll
This
also
is-
give him 8 platinum.
Oh, whoa.
It's a lot of money.
As he looks at you and he's like, casts a bless upon you from Obad High that you might be protected on your way home tonight.
Remember Desmond Akvesser when he dies.
I shall remember you when you live.
I'll nod at him and I'll head back down to join the group.
Okay.
If I can, what I'll do is I'll find a comfortable place to sleep, either in the stable outside the inn or basically sleeping up against the stable.
Okay. All right, everybody go ahead and give yourself a long rest if you have not already done so.
I have taken a long rest.
Yep. Do we go long rest? Since Tarikus isn't here, I'll roll for him, and he is back up to his
Actually,
match.
he is in the chat.
Is he?
Yes.
Well, he
He
showed
joined not too long ago.
up. Hey, I just rolled for him. What? Yeah, of course. He just showed up, and now he's raiding the group. All right.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, hey. Why it's not. Okay. Rest. I don't know why. I'm trying to do like the a new day on the sheet here, but it's not resetting the hit dice. It's weird. So I'm just gonna go here. Do that.
Did you say we had a long rest? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I just gave you a long rest. I'm just trying to figure out why whenever I did the long rest, it should update your hit die and stuff, but I don't know why it didn't.
Maybe because I logged in right as you were doing it and it messed up.
Nah, I just think it's something with the way that the system is set up to do so. I just want to make sure that
It's the 3.2 21 gigawatts.
exactly. All right. Anyway, everybody has their long rest. As the following day, you guys awake on the next day, which brings us to the 14th day of flock time, common year 586. 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, as you guys are awake, going downstairs to have your breakfast. And outside, you can hear the sound of the torrential rains as they pummel the roof overhead, flooding the streets all around you guys, as this city acts almost like a reservoir. When rain comes in, takes a little while for it to drain off. But outside today, although it is relatively decent weather, it still is, I mean, not weather, but decent temperature. Probably mid 40s, lower 50s. There is a heavy rain to start off your morning. What do we wish to do?
I will make sure I'll start the day by giving Nilo back her sister's sword,
Okay.
and tell the
That's
rest
the
of the group
that's the flame tongue, right?
right.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell the group that I will meet them near the docks when they have arranged a ship, hopefully to leave this afternoon. I have to go talk to a swordsmith.
Okay. All right. Nilo is just going to prepare all of her gear and get her horse ready to lead down to the docks.
Ditto that.
Okay. Ragnar, anything particular that you need to take care of this morning before you guys head to the docks?
Particularly.
Okay. Tarikas, anything particular that you need to take care of before you guys head down to the docks? I'm not sure if you were able to listen in, but the party is planning to go by passage on a ship to go from Traft to the capital city of Schwarzenbrunn, so Nilo can go present her case to the captain of the guard, the presidential watch, to try to clear her family and her sister's name from any wrongdoing when it comes to the assassination attempt of the president. So
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. So
I'll do the same.
All right. So while the party, I'm gonna move him off, while the rest of you head down to the docks.
I will cast a light on me.
Gonna cast a light on you.
Yeah, light spell on myself.
Okay. Just because you want to look cool like that.
Yeah, just to show that I have some type of aura. So people should believe me that don't know what a light spell is, and they might think I'm like, intimidating in some ways or
That's
spiritual or whatever. Like I'm just astral being or something.
He's got magic, and he wants everyone to know he has it.
if you can't see me, I'm just shaking my head.
Yep.
See what I have to put up with. All right. Yep. All right. So that leaves you, Desmond Ockvasser, as you work your way. Go ahead and give me a investigation check.
All right.
All right. It takes you about 30 minutes or so as you leave and you, again, pull your cloak around you as the rain comes pouring down upon you. You travel in and about the town, sort of looking for a swordsmith of sorts. And eventually you do come across a spot where you can, or it's a smithy, if you will. And stepping in, you see the big, brooding, hulkish man sort of hammering away. Looks like he's working on some gear, some plate armor or gear, barding and such for horses and whatnot. And as you step through, he kind of looks you up and down a little bit. All right, what can I do for you, sir?
I'm going to unwrap the sword and say I'm looking for new furniture.
Where did you find such a thing?
I won in combat.
Oh, there's a great prize you won there. So you need new hilts, you need new scabbards.
New guard, cross guard.
So you're wanting me to take the old ones off and put the new ones on?
Yes.
Okay. Ian's got some sort of idea on what these new guards is supposed to look like?
I'd like a cruciform guard with a ring guard on it.
Okay.
On the knuckle side. If you can make if the cross guard can be made to look like a raven in flight, that'd be good. I'd like a pommel stone and a black opal if you can find one.
Huh. Not wanting too much then. Just a simple little tweak here or there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I will set second here. 10 platinum pieces. And I can match that again when it's done.
And when are you hoping to get this weapon remanufactured?
Sooner rather than later. I'm hoping to catch shipped across the lake today or tomorrow.
Okay. You're wanting impossibilities, I see. So it's gonna take me probably at least 4 or 5 days just to gather materials that you're looking for, and another 4 or 5 to get your raven crafted. So I'd say if I were pressing myself, I could do you in a week, maybe 5 days, but not today or tomorrow, lad. Sorry.
Okay. I'll give him the first 10. I'll carry it as is for now. I'm going to talk to my companions. I may stay in town. I may come back for the work to be done when I get back.
All right.
Fair?
That's fair, and I'll use these coins to get all of the pieces necessary. I'll put them together. I'll manufacture what we need, and then whenever you're back, we'll be able to fit them right in place.
Sounds good.
Good day, Tians.
Good day to you too. I will go join the group at the docks and ask them, considering the fact they're going to be doing investigation once they cross the river, if I join them on the other side after a week, if that'd be acceptable.
Is it really going to take a week to get your gear done?
Yeah.
Might be better off just having it mailed to where you're going.
I mean, there's that, but I don't expect that we're going to be there for a week.
Okay.
What is it that you? What is it that you need done?
I'm just having some additional work done to this sword.
The
magic sword?
Yes.
The cult one or the
probably
nylon?
cursed one?
I had a druid look at it last night. It's safe enough.
It's a druid, though. What do druids know about crafting magic gear?
Probably less than I do as a smith, you know. Do you need work done on the go? I can probably do something for you.
What I was looking to have done was mostly artistic work.
Oh, you're decorating it.
Yes.
You're implying that I cannot do artistic work with my smith?
No, I'm
He's
saying
not
that you
implying
probably
that.
want to.
He's just saying it's not high enough quality.
No,
All right.
I'm saying that you may not have the gear with us to do it on the road.
All right, fair enough.
But honestly, you're better off just having a courier bring it to probably Umt. I had to guess.
Unt?
What do you think, Pavisco? Do you think it's better to just send it to where we're going, or just keep it?
Well, I mean, if you are, if you have a smith in mind who is going to do it for you, and they are here, then, I mean, if they can just put it together, and they can. What minor work are you having done? Is it just like a, you know, you're not reforging the blade? That would just sort of a magical property. It's just
cross guard, hilt, handle, that kind of thing.
I see. It takes a week.
Yeah, I mean, if you want something done nicely, yes.
It's not dwarven craft, I'll tell you that.
Right.
You're talking to someone who's also a smith.
Oh yeah, yeah, smiths.
We have 2 smiths with us.
Let me. I mean,
let me put
if they are
perspective for the audience. We have me as a smith. We have Praviskro as a smith. We have Angie as a smith. We have Arkham as a smith. We're going to find another smith and the trader that their mother is.
By the way, really quick before I forget, Iger, there are 4 party members and a DM. So you gave 4 nat 20s and a nat 1. So I know the DM got a nat 1.
Oh no.
Let's give the nat 1 to Dudrikas. He deserves it.
But you have to pick the 4. Well, never mind. No, we'll just do the party has 4 nat 20s.
Neat. Okay.
The party. So I was thinking giving him directly, but no, he gave 4 nat 20s.
Neat.
And so
yeah, he's right here. Well, hey, tell him what you said. Yeah, give Monkey all 420s. Yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Just
Right.
wanted to
Sounds
clear it.
just like him. Sounds just like him. Let me tell you,
So-
you are good. But yeah, okay. So so the party now has 4 nat 20s. The DM has a nat 1.
I didn't
You
know
are.
the party was so full of Smiths, honestly.
No, it's all good. So
It's fair. I just
Yeah.
realized that in hindsight, like,
yeah,
he went to the druid.
And I'm not going to go
You
insult
can-
the Smith by telling him not to do the work now.
no, it's all
So-
good. You have dug yourself a hole, and now you have to line it.
You've committed. The worst thing
You
you can
committed to
do
the bit.
now is to go back and go
Yep.
like, I need to cancel my
So-
commission.
So, here's what Peace was gonna say. Well, it seems to me that this is a little bit of a private thing for you, because you have gone to someone else to do it. If that is the case, then you might have to wait till we return to draft. I mean, you can have it and
That's
send
fine.
it to somewhere else, but
I'll wait till we get back to draft.
yes, we are, after all, investigating things getting lost in the mail, so to speak.
That's a true story. All right. So while you are off looking for your for the smithy in order to sort of get a commission for your changes to your weapon, the rest of you guys find yourselves down on the docks as the wind blows, the rain sort of coming down. You guys find yourselves down on the docks as you see several ships sitting in port. There are also some that are sitting out at anchor. There are several taverns and whatnot that are already in full-fledged, even though it's not even lunchtime yet. You can see that the dock workers moving up and down. Central to all of this place, right about here where you guys are, is like the harbor master. So where are you guys going specifically? What are we looking for? Just to book passage and whatnot? I'm assuming that's all we're doing.
I would assume we're just booking some steadfast passage across the
Gotcha.
river, essentially.
Some steadfast.
The lake.
Yeah,
There's a
Lake Glog is the one of the largest. It's just like the second largest lake in the world of Greyhawk. The other is the Near Div, also known as the Lake of Bottomless Depths. But anyway,
we're gonna have to be going on this big ass lake. So I've been pre-gaming because a dwarf on the water is a tragic sight.
Oh boy.
All right. So inside the office of the harbor master, you guys see it literally is just a little office, right? It's a little 2-story thing, sort of shaped like a lighthouse with a small little lighthouse at the top. But it doesn't look to be function. It's more designed architecturally than actual functional lighthouse. Although there is a light that sort of is up there. It looks like more of a glorified large ass lamp post that lights up this whole little area at night, of which it's obviously closed down now because it's daytime. But anyway, you guys go into this office. It's fairly busy. Nobody really notices you guys when you first come in, and then eventually you see like a middle-aged fellow, little bit of a receding hairline, just normal clothes, nothing fancy, typical Paranlander garb. As he looks up, he goes, "Gentlemen, welcome to the harbor master. How may we help you today?" I'm Johan. I will be of service to you. Please discuss with me what is it you're looking for.
We're looking for a fast ship heading to Sean. Can I get the name again?
Schwarzenbruen.
I went to go check it on the map, and the map was in draft. I'm like, no.
That's why I was like, I need Dash the GM.
It is
I can't see.
Schwarzenbruen.
We need a passage to Schwarzenbruen. We need Need passage for 5 plus horse, or 7 plus horse.
All right. So when are you planning to go?
What's the earliest ship we can get?
As he sort of looks up. Well, the last one that we seem to be having to leave would be in about 3 hours. Is the last one before the tides begin to shift.
I like the Paviscro. That fine with you, or do you need something too?
I have nothing I have to do except get to our objective.
Alright, just checking. We book us with that ship then.
All right. So then let's see. Oop, hang on a second. I lost my. Everything disappeared on me. As he looks and he begins to go, okay, so there's just the Fordians. It's just the Fordians.
5 of us, and our horses.
Oh,
I was saying 7 because of the other 2 dwarves.
Oh, I didn't realize they were coming with us. I figured they were going home.
Yeah, that's a question more for Sean.
No,
I don't
no.
know if
Nine,
they're
then.
warriors or not.
No, they're not warriors, but they're coming because you're headed home, so they're obviously going to turn and come back.
Don't worry, I'm gonna cover the fees anyway. So yeah, 7 passage for 7. Horse. 5 horses.
9.
We have. Oh yeah, your traveling companions and your dog.
Yep.
All right, so
You
let's
got another
do that.
dog.
9 people, a dog, 5 horses. Some of them are dwarves, though.
1, 2,
yeah.
3,
does that mean?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, and
A horse.
then 8 horses.
Oh, it's not 8. Wait, is it 8?
Yeah.
I thought your cohorts doubled up. Jesus.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep. The only ones that don't have horses are your cousins,
Dwarves.
the 2 cousins.
I have spent a lot of time studying Arcana and other intellectual pursuits, but math has never been my specialty. 8 horses.
8 horses.
All right.
How much is that, Sean?
It's 10 gold pieces per person and or steed traveling.
So,
All right, so if you have a horse, it's 20.
Correct.
All right, I will pay 2 platinum.
Don't worry
So
about
I'm
it.
paying
I'll
80.
I'll pay for everybody. What's
You're
the
paying
total?
for everyone.
Yeah, that's like 150 gold, right?
No.
It's
It said 15 creatures at 10 per. I thought that was
that would
1,500.
be 150.
You're right.
150.
you are correct.
I'll drop down 150 gold then.
Okay.
15 plat.
As he points you guys over to a vessel that appears to be mid or finishing up loading, as all of the crews are wrapping up on the dock around it, or on the pier around it, as they're sort of moving the cargo loaders and whatnot. You can see there's a first mate or a quartermaster on the deck where the gangplank runs up, sort of yelling and calling out orders about making way. He screams out, "Captain Bart wants to be off this pier before the tide sets. So move your arses, boys." And you can see that the bow of the ship, as most ships do, they have some sort of decorative feature. This looks like some weird, unholy-looking creature, and you're not sure if it is what you think it is, but when you see the name of the vessel, the Aboleth's Dream, on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ! Why don't
I
you
want
guys?
it already. I want this boat.
Why don't we all take a ride on the Kraken's jaw?
No. Even better. It's literally Cthulhu's nightmare. Like, that's the fucking name. In other
Like,
words.
Like, you guys went for a mercantile ship, the most
Oh, I love it.
intimidating name.
Oh god, I want this boat.
You
So
want
bad.
this dr-
I want this boat in
dream?
real life. I want this boat in the game. I want.
God.
So
This
we make this our floating base. Partner up with the captain.
Sean, this is
Would be a
single-handedly.
horrible idea with how far we go.
Sean, this is literally single-handedly the best name you have ever given me.
I'm
And you've
sorry.
given me a lot of names.
It's
Sorry.
one step away from
It is
the
my
beholder's
favorite.
nightmare.
I was
Oh God.
I was depending between that or Lich's Sorrow, but I thought Aboleth's Dream would be more seafaring like.
You
So-
ticked all of the boxes.
Yeah.
The
so-
Lich's Sorrow. I'd have to start looking at the captain suspiciously. Like,
So-
he's got some undead on
Lich's
this
Sorrow sounds like a great tavern name, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's my next band name.
Yeah.
boat. Reminds me of like the Widow's Wail. That name.
Oops. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can
anyway,
there be like an edgy guy in the corner on this ship?
what?
Oh boy.
Can there be an edgy guy in the corner of the ship?
Why?
I already have the haunted one background.
So that's Desmond. On the
Yeah.
corner, Desmond.
Yep. All right. So, you guys gonna do anything? Because the ship plans to get underway at about 12:30. So that gives you guys about 2 hours to go until, or the 2 hours until the ship itself is getting ready to sail. Or you could just board the vessel, get your gear and the horses aboard.
And Agnar is gonna probably get onto the boat to get adjusted to the seawater because I don't want to blow chook all over the deck when we start leaving.
That'd be kind of fun.
You know how it is on Navy boats.
Yeah, been there.
Do
I
you
like
want,
it. I love
do you
a good
want me to
storm.
cast sleep on you and just like, keep that up so that you can just like snooze to this entire journey, or?
I don't think I don't think it'll put me asleep long enough.
Yeah, you're
Because we'll
probably
get it
right.
out of my system now.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think Desmond has to tell the guy, the smith, that hey, send my order to Traft, please.
All right. So, you guys board your vessel.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of hours
Board it.
pass. A couple of hours pass as you are introduced to a few of the crew, including Captain Bartholomew. His first mate is everybody just calls him Mr. Hooks. And he's the one that kind of takes you guys around to kind of show you where you're going to be staying. You guys do not have private quarters, but they are relatively private, meaning they're two-man suites on the bottom of the boat, or in the hold, I should say. There are stairs going down. There's 3 levels of this boat. So you have the main deck, right, obviously. There's a flight of stairs in the after portion of the vessel that take you down to the second deck, which is sort of the main deck with the crew. The galley's on there. Your sleeping compartments are there. And then there's another deck that goes down to where the stables and the cargo hold is, and that's where your steeds are all being kept. So they're down in the hold area. And so that's where, like I said, the cargo is and the stables are and stuff like that. The ship itself appears to be fairly loaded. Most of it appears to be things like timber and wood and crafts, stuff like that, as it's taking it back to Swartz and Bruin on a run with whatever gets manufactured here in Traft and stuff. A lot of ore as well, because it comes out of the mountains being mined from the nearby mines. Of course, you guys know near Kreistrich there's a newly opened up mine, and so a lot of the ore comes down here into the smelting shops, and so now it's sort of the raw ore or the smelted ore and stuff is on these ships and sent over to places like Swartz and Bruin and other large cities where they have manufacturing plants to sort of craft these goods, particularly like weapons and stuff like that for the army, which is a very big trade here in Perrinland itself, just because of the fact that there's so much revolving around the mercenary soldiers and the army, stuff like that. So you guys managed to board her, and almost like clockwork, the bell sounds. The captain calls to throw off the lines, and you watch as one by one the mooring lines are tossed off from the bow, the midships, and the stern. They are quickly pulled up and faked out onto the deck in perfect circles, very nice tight spirals as the sails sort of rise up and begin to get caught by the wind. Interestingly, you see up on the bow area. Hey, Troy, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Up on the bow, here we go. Troy's dropping bombs again. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. But up on the bow area, you can see, Perviskro, a pair of arcanists are up there, and it appears as if they are creating a breeze to help fill out the sails as you guys leave the harbor where the wind isn't quite as heavy. But you can see that they're creating a strong enough wind that it sort of helps fill out the sail to get you guys off the docks into the harbor and on your way. And for those that don't know, Cannibal is our resident bomb dropper. He's out here throwing around all of our subscriptions. So Troy, definitely appreciate that, man. The love is definitely appreciated. So, and I'm sure Ronnie Noblight will be really, really, really happy for his enlistment. That's all good, brother. Ronnie Noblight will be very happy because I know he hates paying for anything. And so if you want to get the full Ronnie Noblight experience, come watch us on Monday nights as he plays our druid, Ronnie Noblight. So it's definitely appreciated, Troy, man. The love is always welcome. So never apologize for helping support the stream, man, because you know as well as I do, it's because of you guys that we're able to be here and do this and stuff. So, or at least I would be here doing it anyway, but it's just muchly appreciated. So as you guys are off into the waters, as you guys head out of Traft again, roughly 12:30, it's going to be let's see, what did we say I just want to make sure that we have the distance right. So if we go here, roughly why didn't it? Oh, it's way down there. That's why. It's about 110 miles from Traft to Schwarzenbrunnen. The boats, though, because they go 24/7, if we sort of round that per mile, it's roughly a little over 4-day trip as you guys travel from Traft to Schwarzenbrunnen. Last call for anything that we want to do or say before we go. If not, we are on our way.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm puking over the side of the deck.
I need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw. Well,
I just choose to fail this.
You can choose to fail if you want.
Because I'm a barbarian. I don't think I can fail this.
All right. Perviskro with the 13. I guess I'll have to roll for I'll roll for Nilo. And I'm just gonna do.
What are we rolling again?
Constitution saving throw.
You're saving to hold on to your lunch.
But my ain't nothing.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm just messing around.
No, we couldn't hear you. Is the problem? You cut out.
Garth Pellhorn.
I don't know.
Is Garth one of your companions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I thought I got the 19. It came out the same time I rolled my...
All right, so Perviskro with a 13, Sam Delgado with a 19, Garth with an 8, Tarikas with a 6, Eddie with a 5. Boy, we are just cruising it. And now I have to do Nilo.
What Desmond roll?
I
Or
have
at least all
rolled it.
barf in the same direction.
Is it all in the same direction? Is it a stream? Do we cross the stream?
No. Oh, Nilo as well. All right. Anybody that ended up with less than a 10, which is pretty much everybody except for Praviskro and Sam. You guys all, this first day as you guys go out, as I said, the rain is coming down super heavy. The water is choppy. Even though the captain and his crew are skilled at what they do, the boat still rocks. The waves still sort of splash up as you guys are down below decks, and you can hear the slap of the waves as it hits the side of the vessel, sending it sideways and causing your stomachs to stay in one place as your body moves, and you just feel that. And over the course of the first 24 hours, everybody becomes nauseous and bedridden, just because of the fact that you guys can't eat. You guys can't stand the sight of anything. The crew members seem to be okay with it. Praviskro, you're okay with it. One of your companions, Sam Delgado, he seems to be okay with it. But for the most part, all of you remain within the confines of your cots, and they're not even cots. It's more like a oh my gosh,
Hammock.
thank you. As more of a hammock between posts and stuff. So even you guys are in it, you're sort of swaying as the boat sort of tilts at like a 15-degree angle. You guys are just sort of swaying there steadily. So it's not really too bad, but again, the nauseousness sets in, putting you guys sort of in a bad way. The next day, the rains continue. So I am going to need a saving throw, or a Constitution saving throw again. This time, Praviskro, you get your saving throw with advantage.
Neat.
All right, Praviskro once again. I will go Nilo. Nilo fails once again. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, now I have to do Sam again.
Listen, I'm not convinced orcs were made for this sea.
Everything catches up with Sam eventually.
We have to use those 20s tonight, right? Some of you just want to use them not to get sick.
I say we use the nat ones here.
You don't have any nat ones. Only the DM does. All right.
Destroy the party with
So
the
let's see.
teams.
So Praviskro, Praviskro, you're okay. Since Nilo failed a second time. Tarikas failed a second time. Garth failed a second time. And so all of those individuals now suffer from one level of exhaustion.
So, for some reason, my little thing that lets me roll my saves in Forge is not coming up.
Really, you
Not
should just
sure.
have to click on your character sheet, right? Let's see, that was all right. Garth is the other one that is.
So what would this be considered? A poison or what?
No, it's
Is
just no. It's really just a
Condition of some
yeah.
sort?
Yeah, well, you get one level of exhaustion. So
Did
So
you say
there's
this
no
was
lesser restoration can't...
lesser restoration. If you were to cast it, you can take back one level of exhaustion if you want. If you want to use your spell to take it
Removes
back.
the seasickness for enough
Well,
for you to recover.
yeah, I mean, well, you said we're going to have bed rest anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And
You're gonna do what? The spell?
Was this a normal save? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's just a regular save.
I'll cast
All
two
right.
if I have to cast two.
All right, Desmond, you managed to today finally get your sea legs underneath you, as even though the rains are coming down and the boat's still rocking and weaving, it is completely foreign to you and your normal hills and mountains in the regions that you go up with, but you did manage to overcome it. So if you want to use two spells, Tarikas, then yes, you can use two spells to remove the exhaustion from you and Nilo.
Yes, I will cast that.
Okay.
Um,
Alrighty. As we move into the next day, the rains are continuing as the ship begins to take a little bit of a turn.
so do we get a full rest when we're resting these days?
No, you don't. Nope. Not a long rest in the sense where you can, or not a rest in the sense that recovering anything, because of the storm itself is not allowing you to sleep and rest and relax. As the third day,
Okay.
as you guys travel through, once again, as the rains continue, I am going to need a Constitution saving throw. So Desmond, you passed last time, so you will get your roll with advantage. For Viskro, you will get your roll with advantage. Everybody else gets a normal roll. Alright, so Desmond, you and Tarikas are fine. As Nilo finally overcomes her seasickness. And I'm not even going to roll for the other guys. I'm just going to say the 3 henchmen are now laid up. Ragnar, I need a save on you. Or are you just choosing to fail?
Sorry, is this the second day still, or is
This is
the
the
third day?
this
Day
is this is day 3.
Okay, just double checking.
Yep.
16.
All right. As Ragnar manages to hold his ale down, as all good dwarves can. The only one that suffered now is Praviskro. So Praviskro, you lose your advantage on this. If the storm continues this last day, as the rains are heavy, but they are not bad enough that they are so torrential that it sends you guys into a fit, as on the end of the 4th day, late into the 4th day, as it is just, the sun has just gone down, as you guys manage to come to the dock of Schwarzenbrunn. Now, as you guys begin to pull in, you see Schwarzenbrunn is a sprawling metropolitan city split in half. Part of the major part of the city itself is actually on an island just offshore. And you can see that the entire island itself is completely covered in built-up city. It's completely surrounded by walls. There is obviously a harbor district set there on the island side. On the mainland side, you can see there's another series of docks as well as another city being built up there. It's a little, not quite as metropolitan or not as huge or densely built, it looks like, as the main city on the island. But this, what they call the shore, is a newer construction. It's probably, maybe 100 years old, if that. So just to give yourselves a little bit of description of Schwarzenbrunnen. You can see that there are walls that obviously run around the entire edge of the city. You can also see that there are walls inside the city that sort of split some of the older construction with some of the newer construction. You can see that there are several gates leading out into various places up on the island itself. The one which you guys come through is known as Harbor's Gate. And as I said, the ship pulls in, throws down anchor, and almost immediately thereafter, it begins to get crawling with workers from the docks as they begin setting up the various rigs and machinery for pulling things up out of the hold. You know from experience when they loaded this that it was probably going to be at least 2 or 3 hours before your horses and whatnot are offloaded to the point where you guys could, go and do whatever it was that you wanted to do. In the meantime, is there anything particular you guys want to do while you're waiting for your horses?
I think Nilo had that business to attend to, and Paviskro will accompany her for that in case she requires any assistance. Although I expect that would be that might take a bit. So
yeah, so Nilo is like, we have to. I think we should get a place to stay. Get ourselves set up, and then we can figure out where we need to go for the palace and for the captain of the guard, so we can present our case.
That's right. It's late in the day, isn't it?
It's about 9 o'clock or 7:30, almost 8 o'clock at night.
Got it. Yeah. No. Rethinking that entirely. Baviskar will set out to find us a place to stay.
Okay. So as you guys offload, the captain or the first mate Hooks comes to you, and he sort of smiles and goes, "Good to see all of you managed to recover your sea legs just in time to get back onto land. If you're ever needing a crew to ferry you from here to there, be sure to remember us and give us a 5 when you're marking our ratings for you, will you?"
Like, comment, and subscribe.
But he looks and he goes, "So, what brings you here? I don't normally ask people their business, but why are you here? Maybe perhaps I can help." Don't everybody speak at once?
I was expecting Paviskro since they're with Nilo. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one person I was really hoping was going to be here, because this is like one of the climaxes of her story, and she's.
We can do her stuff next session.
We can.
So I just want to make. I need to make sure I'm understanding this scene correctly. I thought I'm going to go find the inn, right? So this is with the others. So this person is after I've left, right?
Wait, you're going to go find who? Sorry.
I went because I left to go find an inn, right? For us
an inn. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I said. This was before anybody left.
Oh.
As you guys were offloading, he was saying, because as I said, there's 2 halves of the city, right? So you can see there are ferries running from Schwarzenbrunnen Island, where you guys are, over to the shore, right? And the shore is basically the new city, right? So they have the island city, and the shore is mainland city. Island city is a conglomeration between old and new, but the shore is almost like completely new, so it's newer, right? So the city itself, there's no place left really to build on the island itself, and so now they've expanded and are starting to build onto the land itself. So you can see ferries, you can see a bridge under construction. Obviously, they're going to have a bridge eventually that goes between Schwartz and Bruin and the shore, but right now it's only partially built. You can see several different gates going into the city itself. Where you guys are is Harbor Gate, obviously, for lack of a better name. But like you said, inside, you have the old city, you have the new city. The palace itself is in the old city, which is separated by a wall from the new city and its own private or large gate to get into the old city. So when you think of like old money versus new money type of city, that's kind of what the description would be. So,
right. Okay. Well, if nobody responds to this individual who's asked us to give them five check marks or a high five, I'm not sure which. Pavisco will
just give him a
Yeah, no, exactly what I was thinking. We'll be sure to recommend you the Eberleft's Dream to anyone we know that happens to be looking for a boat that happens to be going between these two cities.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, I don't know who chose the name for this boat, but it's the best name I've ever heard. Like, literally, this is the best boat name anyone could ever have. You have won that department completely.
Well, I appreciate it.
Do you know a good place to stay in this for people who, do not have the sea legs as you do? Do you know the best place to stay for someone like us, some landlubbers?
I would have to say there's a not my favorite place, but I'm more one to be staying here on the docks on the boat or maybe one of these local taverns here. But they say that the Horn is a good place up in New City. I ain't never been over to the shore yet, so I cannot tell you anything that's over there. But here on the island side, the Horn is a good place. Pistros is a good place, but I don't know. Are you looking for just food, or you looking to stay overnight?
At least overnight, yes.
Probably the Horn or the Hag. The Horn or the Hag, one of those two would probably be your best bets to go. They got decent food, but I think Pistros is the best food. But if you're just looking to lay your heads down, then
which one's closer to Pistros?
I would probably say the Hag. The Hag would be the closest to Pistros.
I'll take a look. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to go make my way, trying to find a place for us to stay.
Okay. So using the information that he gave you, you are directed to a place, what they affectionately call the Hag. Its official name is the Sea Hag. And as you come up to the place, you can see that it's of newer construction. It's sort of a stone and wood kind of a mix. Typical 2-story inn, but it's interesting. All of the wood has a serious green tint to it, almost as if it's not really painted. It's almost as if the trees grew that way. And so as you sort of step in, it gives you this undersea kind of a vibe. As you sort of step in to the inside, it's the lighting is all sort of greenish yellow. You see fisherman's net sort of hanging on the wall with various stuffed fish, if you will, or fish kind of attached to it, almost to make it look like they're swimming through or whatever. All of the workers and whatnot, they have dark trousers and sort of a really dark green blousy tops, right? Sort of like pirate-ish, if you will, with the flared cuffs and the collar and stuff like that, as they're moving around, sort of serving people in the common room. You're greeted as soon as you step in by a girl as she's sort of going by, dark hair pulled back very tight, very professional looking, I guess, for lack of a better term, as he sort of waves her arms and says, "Sit will you will, sir, sit will you will, we'll get with you when we can." And she sort of dances away and goes about her serving.
Yeah, I just got off a boat with a bunch of people who, I'm not saying this out loud, this is just Puisco reasoning out to himself. in his head that he just got off a boat with a bunch of people who were throwing up, and I think the sight of anything sea-themed would make them woozy again. And it's not an experience that he wants to have to relive, having to prestidigitate all that vomit that didn't make it off the boat. So we're going to check out the horn.
Okay. So it probably takes you another half hour or so to find the horn, but you eventually do. And in this place, as you step in, it's a little more upbeat than the hag was. The hag was. It's not that it wasn't upbeat, but you're right. It was very subdued. But as you sort of step in here, the vibe is definitely much different. It's more mountainish, and you can see that the back wall of the behind the bar is a huge painting of mountains, and there's this one mountain that has a huge curve in it, and it's almost in the shape of like a blowhorn, like the Ricola, one of those kind of horns, or whatever. Give me a history check with advantage.
Okay. Wow, I cannot roll anything above an 8 today.
That's fine. Because you beat what I said. As you look at that, you immediately flash back to the demon that you guys were fighting and the symbology that you guys found, and that mountain matches the exact symbol of the horn that you guys saw. On that, you also have saw it with the demon that or when you guys fought Nilo's sister, you saw the horn symbol there as well. When you guys, like, there's been like 4 or 5 different occurrences that you have had over the course of the last few months, of the Sturgeon Blood Totem all the way to now, that you've seen that symbol, and now you realize that symbol is a mountain of some kind.
All right. I think, how much longer do I expect that it's going to take before my companions are ready to?
So it's been about an hour. So you're probably talking an hour and a half, maybe, before the horses and stuff are offloaded.
Got it. So Pavistro is going to, in that case, talk to whoever he needs to talk to book enough rooms for himself and his companions for the night.
So yeah, so he he being the barkeep agrees that so I was looking for one common room at which to stay in, or you all wanting your own separate rooms. What do you need, sir?
What is the running price on the separate rooms?
The separate rooms, 2 gold per person. For if you wish to common room, it's a silver coin to buy the bed.
We have 8 people? Question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
10 people.
We have 10 people.
2,
Are we paying for Agora and
Angie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the general gist, are we all paying separately, or are we all
I'm willing to pay my fair share.
Okay. Then knowing that, like, Pavistro's gonna front it, and then like anyone who wants to pay him back can pay him back.
How much is it?
It's two gold.
2 gold for private room per person. And
It's not private. They're not private rooms. They're 2 people rooms, but it's still 2 gold per person.
Got it.
So it's 4 gold a room, effectively.
If you want a room by yourself, it's 4 gold. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a room with one other person.
I'll share with someone. That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
no,
it's really
I'm gonna be doing the same. I'm just going to buy 5 rooms then.
Okay.
Which is then that should be
20 gold.
20 gold.
Correct.
and put that down, and ask the barkeep if they know of a good stable to keep some horses for.
Oh, we got stables here. There's free of charge. Just tipping the lads to tend to your steed, sir.
Yeah, no. Is he indicating like a tip jar or like just like?
No, he's pointing. He's kind of pointing his thumb over his shoulder, like out back. We have a barn with some guys that'll.
Got it.
I'll give the guys 70 silver between them for all the horses we've got.
Which is
70 silver, Jesus.
7 gold.
Yeah,
I mean, sure.
a lot of money.
All right, so I'm just
when
going
we
to
get to that
fast
point.
forward us then,
Yeah,
unless Perviskro wants to do something between, or you guys want to do something between the 7:30 that you arrived and the 10:30 that it is now. You guys tell me if there's something in that 3 hours you want to do. If not, we'll just fast forward it.
There's really nothing I want to do solo except perhaps like while I'm passing the time waiting to go retrieve my companions. I want to ask what the significance behind that symbol is.
Oh, so some say that nearby that mountain, which has been, I hate to use air quotes because they probably never did it back in the day, but air quotes, they lovingly termed the region Igwilv's Horn. They say that somewhere beneath that mountain or its regions, the witch herself had her lair, and when she was destroyed by our forefathers, all of her treasure is to this day buried beneath those same hills. Many of folk have gone searching for it, none have ever returned, but they say it's still there. So if you've an inkling to make a name for yourselves.
Where are these hills said to be?
Oh, if you go straight south, somewhere smack dab in the middle of the Yat Hill Mountains.
Please scroll on to that. Yeah, it's good to know if I ever, want to mysteriously disappear into the mountains sometime.
Yep, and as he's pointing, so you guys are in Swartz mode, he's pointing down this area, or it could be this area. You don't really know, right? But it's the the Yaddle Mountains are like this break right here in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the Yatil Mountains and the beginning of the Klatspur Range, right? So the Klatspur Range is on the right, the Yaddles are on the left. She was in the Yatil Mountains, they say. So even though he said south, it's quite it could be way over here as far as you know. You don't know. It's just
Is the symbol, is that mountain symbol that I've seen so many times now, is that distinct enough? Like, you know how when you look at a symbol for Everest, like you could match it like straight over the mountain and it fits perfectly, right?
Probably,
like
right?
a lot of the artistic representations of that mountain, you could just overlay it and it works.
Yep.
Is it that level of recognizable, or like if I found this mountain in person and I had a drawing of it, would I be able to match it up?
Probably. If you were to see it, probably. If not exactly, then like, because you have seen a lot of mountains in your guys' time, right? So a lot of these sort of look the same in the range, but this one is just drawn like it's almost like a lonely mountain thing, it's all by its lonesome. Is it really that way, or was it an artistic representation? I just want to paint this mountain without any of the surrounding land around it, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Good to know.
Okay. So is there anything that anybody wants to do before we hit the sack?
Nope.
Ragnar? No drinking? No ailing? We good?
My stomach is still recovering from the boat. I just want water.
Oh, what?
I want water and
All
a
right.
good meal.
All right. 2 copper pieces for the meal plus water. As you sort of stuff your face and throw it all up tonight in your bedroom. But you guys are okay. You managed to, over the course of the last half a day or so, begin to get your sea legs a little bit. Ragnar, you never really intense where you were puking really bad, but obviously.
Yeah, the first day I had to adjust.
It's like somatic. It's a dwarf on a boat in an ocean, or even though it's a huge lake, you call it the ocean. It's like a psychosomatic type thing.
I will be right back, you guys.
All right. So as we pass through the night, the rain continues the next day, albeit it is very, very light, and it only lasts for the first part of the morning. By the time the sun has fully arisen, the rain has stopped, leaving a wet sheen on all the stone in all the buildings and all the streets. And that is where we are going to take our break as we continue to move our way through trying to figure out what Nilo is going to do. And I'm going to give Nilo some more time to get here, because I know that Jacob said he's going to try to be here, but he's still doing all of his packing and stuff. He is, I don't know, has he already moved or he's in the process of moving to Pennsylvania? So he says if he makes it, he'll be a little late. So this will give him at least a little more time to get here. But as you all know, this is the time of our game where we hit our break and we get to go enjoy the smooth, silky sounds of our very own Monkey Boogers and his music channel out there. If you guys have not checked him out, go check out his Spotify and his sound. Well, I don't know if he got Spotify, but his SoundCloud. To go check his music and stuff like that. So it's got some good stuff that he put together for us, and I definitely appreciate it. We just want to get through the initial ads. One of these days, I'm going to take time to actually go figure out why. I think I got to log in. I don't think.
You know what? I'm going to go make Spotify now just because you said that.
All right, cool. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy the smooth, silky sounds. Let me set our timer here for 15 minutes so everybody knows when to be back. And we'll be back here at a quarter till. Hopefully you guys out there aren't too bored as our party is just working their way, hopefully trying to finish off the last of the Nilo thread, or at least this portion of the Nilo thread, as she's trying to clear her family name and go present her case to the to those in charge who stripped her family of land and title. But we're gonna, like I said, take a few minutes and we'll be back here in about a quarter till. So I appreciate if you hang with us, and see you on the other side.
quality as before, and we're passing those savings on to you. Shop new, lower prices on hundreds of items throughout the store and online. Get ready for summer with 10% off on all outdoor furniture. Plus, we're offering 5 years special financing with no minimum purchase. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com to celebrate and save today. Only at Ashley. See store or ashley.com for details.
The Zaxby's Asian Sensation Salad comes with our hand-breaded chicken, crispy wonton strips, Asian slaw, an egg roll, and is dressed with not one, but 2 flavorful dressings. Our sweet and savory honey sesame teriyaki glaze, and a tangy citrus vinaigrette. But there's so much more than dressings. There's sauces. Salad sauces! The Asian Sensation Salad. Order one ahead through the Zaxby's app. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Okay. I was wondering where you went. Huh? Oh. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Hmm. 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 And we're back. Can everybody hear me now? We good to go?
I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah, and we lost somebody.
Yeah, no. Spartan, are you back yet? Oh. Right, all right. The fact that he went unmute and back to mute tells me that he is back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to tonight's episode of Agora Quest. As was just mentioned, we did lose Paviskro. He has a really early morning commitment, and so he has to head off into the wild blue yonder because of work. So apologies for losing that guy. I'm sort of in a conundrum now, fellas. Just because of the fact that Nilo is not here. So the question remains before we as the party, and I'm going to let you guys decide because I really hate doing this. I was really hoping that Nilo would be able to be here to sort of close out, at least partially close out, if not completely close out, the thread of Nilo trying to restore her family's honor by Nilo going to present her case to the captain of the guard here in Schwarzenbruen, and then you guys would continue on to wherever it was you were going to go after that, which I'm assuming is going to Ulmt to see if Ragnar's aunt had made it through there to determine which direction you guys need to go, north or south, to sort of track her and her caravan down. So the question remains, do we want to just completely skip the Nilo ending piece here and head you guys off to Ulmt or wherever it is that you want to go? Right? If you want to go to Klatsburg or if you want to go back to Traft or whatever it is that you guys want to do. Or do we call the game like an hour and a half early or at least an hour early, because I figure about 11 o'clock is when we would stop. So we would be calling the game about an hour early, and then we will just wrap up Nilo next session and then continue on with Ragnar's new thread after that. So I'm going to let you guys kind of decide. I know you guys come here looking to play. I know our audience comes here to watch us play. We have played some. Hasn't been the most exciting of sessions. I will grant that. It's been more role play than anything. But I'll kind of let you guys decide. What are your thoughts?
I'm inclined to put a pin in it for the week,
Right?
mostly because with the amount of time we invested in that little storyline,
Yeah.
I'd like to see it come to at least some kind of climax.
Okay.
So that's
All
my
right.
take.
Okay. Pravisco? Well, not Pravisco, but Tarikas?
Yeah, same.
Okay. Ragnar? You want to go after your aunt and just say to hell with Nilo? I don't hear you talking, so I'm not really sure you got audio problems going or you're just a really soft-spoken dwarf. Oh,
Someone
he
just failed.
Yep, he left. I think he's probably just restarting and coming back.
See, yeah, I don't know why. Whenever I unplug my mic, it just deactivates my speech on Discord.
Really? It's kind of bizarre.
Given Pravistro is also gone, I mean, I'm fine with waiting here at this point, since there's only half the
Yeah.
party here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what I said. But I want to leave it to you guys because I would have no problem saying, "Hey, Nilo, it sucks to be you, but we just bypassed your storyline." And the party said that it wasn't that big of a deal. But I agree with Desmond in that you guys have vested a lot of time and effort into Nilo's little storyline here, and I think I would like for Nilo to be here at the conclusion. So that being said, those of you that were waiting around for us to come back, only for us to bail a little bit early, I'm going to go ahead and shift it over to our after party mode here. Players, I really appreciate it. I know tonight wasn't exciting in any way, shape, or form. It was just a little bit of wrap up stuff and a little bit of storyline and a little bit of moving along, and it really didn't accomplish a whole lot. And I do apologize for that.
We got to cross the big soup.
I did have a combat scenario planned in the event that we were able to wrap up Nilo and you guys were on your way. So don't get me wrong. It's not that I wasn't completely ready to have something to go, but I really wanted to finish off the Nilo portion of it and stuff. So, but that being said, I appreciate you guys and your understanding. Those of you out in TV land, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, even though we come back from break only to decide that we're going to bail on you. Obviously, next week we don't play, but the following week we will. And I do plan to play. I don't plan anything. There's nothing going on. I do say that. Let's see. Next Friday. Yep, I will be in South Carolina with the grandkids. So our next game will be this coming Monday for our first edition game. Tarikas, don't be late. Even though you're not coming as Tarikas, you can come as the other guy though. So first edition game on Monday. The following Friday or next Friday, we are not playing because that's our off week anyway. Followed by another first edition game, and then of course we are back here. And hopefully by then Nilo will be situated in her new home. I know Jacob is. He has relocated himself or is in the process of relocating himself from Florida up to Pennsylvania for a little while. So hopefully he'll be back soon. Not sure how long he plans to be up there, but I kind of miss him around here. He's one of my face-to-face gamers, and it kind of sucks that he's moving out of state, but that's okay. But I really appreciate it, players. In the meantime, I am going to sort of dig and see what do we have that
I want to also write down the 20s from this session.
I've got them. I have a OneNote document that I have every single session we've ever done. I have the date, basically what we did as a recap.
Only on OneNote.
Well, have you ever used OneNote?
I use it a bit, but
yeah.
I usually split up the pages.
Oh yeah. Shut up, dude. I have so across the top my tabs. I've got game notes, house rules, session, and then under session notes. Right now I have 45 tabs or 45 pages on the session notes tab. So we've had 45 sessions. Tonight's our 45th game. And I have everything from session 0 to session 45. So I'm only missing one, session 44, because somehow, some way in there, I inadvertently had duplicate session IDs, so I just said screw it and deleted 44, and I went from 43 to 45, but that's okay. Anyway, I have basically, some pages don't have hardly anything. Other pages have a bunch of crap, but on every single one, I have what our party has as far as like for dice tracking. Like, oh, what do we have for nat 1s? What do you have for like nat 20s and stuff like that? And right now, our party has 4 nat 20s. The DM has a nat 1. As I said before, Desmond, don't forget you have inspiration, as does Pravisco and stuff. So
God bless
anyway,
you. You're so much more organized than me. I have trouble remembering NPC names after I assign them.
I do too. That's why I put stuff down. And every session I'll put, like, if I think you guys are going to need to know so-and-so's name or whatever, I copy it over to the new session. And if it never comes up, it never comes up. Like Arthur Stevens, I would never remember his name. I kept forgetting it. And so, like, the head of the Wizard Guild, every time you guys are going to draft, I go back to one of the old sessions and I find the head of the Wizards Guild name and I put it in that session so I don't forget. And I'm like, I got to make sure I've got all this and stuff. So yeah, so I've got that. And then like Schwartz and Bruin, I've got descriptions of places and stuff like that. So across the top, like I said, I've got my game notes, house rules, session notes, and then I've got weather. So I've got weather for every day of the month on what the weather is to be for that day. It might be tweaked based on where you guys are, but for the most part, it's all the same. And then the rest of it's all the cities, or not the cities, but the cantons, right? So it's basically the states. So like the state of Traft, the state of Schwarzenbrunnen, the state of Quadflute. Crestable is its own little state, right? If you look at the map, you can see the outline. It says something along the lines of the state of Crestable or the state of Schwarzenbrunnen, because it's not just a city, but its own region and stuff. So I have the descriptions, and then underneath each state, I'll have the city, any cities in that state. Like Crestable's got 3 or 4 little towns in it, so I'll include information about those towns as you guys are going to them. I don't have it all fleshed out, but as you guys go to it, I'll flesh some stuff out just so I can have it on hand when you guys say, hey, you know, what taverns? And I had to come up, oh, that's right. I look here, I got the Hag and the Horn. Those are kind of the 2 big ones, right? If you guys didn't want to go to one of those 2, I would have to make something up on the fly. But the name of the boat, I knew you guys are going to be leaving probably on a boat, so I had like 3 or 4 names for boats ready to go, just in case. And I'm glad you guys liked the Aboleth stream, so that was kind of cool. But again, everybody out there in TV land, I do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just going to find who we want to raid tonight. Hopefully you guys will hang around for a little bit as we can get over to the raid. Atomic Peanut Butter Group, they're actually, I like those guys just because they're the old Blue Box guy, or not Blue Box, but my gosh, where is it? Wicked Studios. So Wicked Studios is technically Atomic Peanut Butter Group now. If you guys haven't followed them or done anything with them, they just, redid their name. So let's see who we've got. We got Cave Geek, we got Dice Creative, we got Brizzy Voices, we've got Casters, we've got Atomic Peanut Butter Group. Who else do we have? I'm gonna actually go, because there's a bunch on here. Swole Initiative, Magic RPG, All Dragon, 20 sides to every story. They're actually pretty good. The Grouch Couch, they're pretty cool. Dice Cream Sandwich, Brizzy Voices, Casters and Castles, Rule of Lore, Lollygaggers, Atomic Peanut Butter Group, BDO Stream, and Jazz Star. I like Jazz Star, but just because I used to work with her. But she doesn't really do D&D stuff. She's more streaming and other stuff. Let's see what 20 sides to every story is up to. I want to check. Let me check these guys out and see what they got going on. Looks like they're doing Princess of the Apocalypse tonight, so that's kind of cool. That's an older one. Let's see. Oh, Darling's on. I didn't know she's streaming tonight. Good. Let's see what she's got going on. Does she got a D&D game going on? Yeah, she's got a D&D game. I never see her with a D&D game, so we're gonna pop over to her. There's only a few of us left But that's okay. We're going to pop over to Darling Creepshow just because we love us some Darling. And like I said, if you guys have not followed Darling, I definitely encourage you to go check her out because she's got a lot of good stuff. And I didn't realize that she was gaming tonight. So she's got some folks over there she's gaming with. So we are going to pop in. So hopefully you guys will hang with us. And again, I apologize for the hour early shutdown, but I do want to make sure that the requisite player for this particular thread is here to help close it out. So in the meantime, just remember, in a world that you can be anything that you want, all we ask that you be kind. So we're going to pop over there. We only got a few people, like I said, but it looks like we're all going to pop. So make sure that we show her lots of love, and maybe we'll get some more followers back from her. So see you guys next time.
Have a good night.
And while she looked almost identical to her sister, there was no curiosity in me was ever aroused. She is a thaumaturgic dampener, I now know, absorbing arcane energy like a sponge does water. The very fabric of the illusion shivers and starts to unravel around her. Only the drugs that dull her mind can keep the entire thing from shattering strand by strand. Her parents no doubt meant for her to serve Malkuth as they did, Malkuth the rebel, Malkuth the malcontent, who created this very prison she now seeks to destroy. But fortunately, Kether saw this in time. This will no longer be an issue. Now Kether calls for me to finish the work I have begun, of divesting myself of all attachments and connections of the blood on this world, the last step to my transcendence. I will offer Kirsty to Kether and give her body to the Voivoids for consummation, and then I will be truly free of the last vestiges of humanity that hold me back.
Kirsty's glance is going to snap to Octavian. What is he talking about? Do you understand any of this?
A bit. The thaumaturgic quickener is like a... think of it as like a shot of a hit of methamphetamines to the occult process. It speeds up the power, perhaps, but the dampener, that would be you, my dear, have the opposite effect. Whatever, it's such a crude term, but whatever sort of spellcraft these entities, Kether, Malkuth, and the like, whatever they do is to maintain the illusion that we often struggle to see through. But by what your uncle has said, something tells me that you struggle less, that you have been able to see through this veil quite acutely, in fact, so acutely that you deaden yourself with these drugs, these other obsessions, whatever, I don't know. That's between you and your psychologist. But that it is those crutches that dampen, I guess, your ability to shatter the illusion. Now, what impact that shattering would have on you, I'd stay on the drugs, personally. But that's a decision for you to make for yourself, I suppose, my dear. But I think you should have heart, because what he said is that he gave your twin sister over to Kether. Not that he sacrificed and killed her. So I now believe that your sister probably is communicating to you. So
I'm telling you this.
Well, I know, but now I agree, my dear. And if you agree with me and now the doctor again that you want to live, then surely the three of us will succeed in finding your sister and bringing her back.
I have to live. I don't have a choice.
Oh, good. If we get John on board, then we're at a full quorum. Now, how do you feel about participating in a ritual that will allow us to go into this other dimension?
Where do we begin?
And on
Looks to
that
me
note,
like we begin
on
at that
note,
forehead.
let's take a little break here, and we'll discuss this whole thing when we come back. We will see what occurs this ritual. It's been pretty intense, so let's take a little break, take a few minutes, get something to drink, visit the loo.
Do what you gotta do. All right, awesome. Sounds great, guys. Oh God, I just punched my microphone. Sorry.
Didn't hear it.
That's
Punch
good.
like a girl.
Oh, all right, guys. We will be back shortly. Agora Quest, thank you so much, DM Sean. I appreciate that. I will write that down. We will be back in about 10 minutes or so. So hang tight. We will return.